Hey, have you ever heard that statement that says you can't see the picture when you're the one in the frame? It's true, isn't it? When you're the one in the frame, you don't have the same perspective as when you're outside the frame. It's almost like you have a blind spot, right? Well, what if there was a couple questions you could ask that could help you identify those blind spots? In this video, I'm going to share with you a story about a woman who had a blind spot that was keeping her from the love that she wanted, and a couple of questions that she asked that helped her identify what that was, and how you can ask those same questions to help you move forward in having the relationship that you want as well. So my client's question was a good one. She says, I'm taking massive action in my love life. I'm online, I'm meeting tons of men, but none of the men that I am meeting do I find attractive. I'm not interested. Everyone's boring. I don't find anyone that I actually like, and I'm taking tons of action. And then her next question was actually sophisticated. She says, where is the block in me that I'm not actually attracting what I want? And so in life, there's a principle, a personal development principle, that anytime we have a result that seems to be sustaining itself in our life, there's a reason why we're creating that result, even if it's a result you don't like. So I'm going to challenge you to consider this in this moment. The first question that you can ask yourself when you have a result that you don't like, it might be that you're meeting a ton of married men, or it might be that you're meeting unavailable men. We're going to talk about why you're actually meeting men that you don't like specifically in this video. The first question that you can ask yourself is, what value am I gaining by staying in this situation? Because our brains are wired up to seek two things: pleasure or avoid pain. We're always moving in the direction of pleasure, or we're moving away from pain. So if you are sustaining a result, it's either because you're receiving some pleasure from it, or you're avoiding some other pain. Even if the situation you're in, like never attracting someone that you're really find interesting or attracted to, even if you don't like that result, there's some other pain that you're avoiding. And so I asked my client this question. So the first question you can ask is what value am I gaining by maintaining this situation? The second question you can ask yourself is, what fear do I have about actually achieving the result that I want? So I asked her, I said, let me ask you this question. What fear do you have about actually being in a romantic, intimate relationship with someone that you find super attractive? And instantly she got quiet, and then she said, oh my God. She goes, I've never even thought of this before, and she started to choke up. And she said, this is all rushing to the surface, but she goes, I'm incredibly scared. She goes, the fear would be being judged. I'm scared of being judged. And then I asked her, we took it a couple steps deeper. I said, well, what would happen if you were judged? And she goes, if I found someone that I really liked and they judged me and rejected me, then it would be my ultimate fear that I am destined to be alone. And I said, exactly. And so what are you doing? And she was constantly attracting people into her sphere, into her dating circle, that she didn't like, that she didn't want to be with. Because if those people rejected her, if those people judged her, no big deal. There wasn't a lot of pain because it wasn't triggering that same fear of being alone. And the truth of the matter was, as we unpack this, is that she also said to me, she goes, you know where it's coming from? She goes, I'm not really comfortable with myself. She goes, I'm highly successful, I'm ambitious, I'm directive, I'm a little gregarious, and I'm not comfortable with those parts of myself, and so therefore I fear the judgment from other people. And so what she was doing is, anyone she was actually connecting with, she was going on those dates with her boxing gloves up, ready to actually punch back if she were to be judged, ready to judge back if she were going to be judged, and also judging first, rejecting people before they even had a chance to reject her. And so she said, oh, well, then what do I do with this information? And so if you find yourself in this same boat, where you are keeping yourself safe, right? She was attracting people she didn't like because that was safer than actually the fear and the pain of being rejected by someone that she did like. So the solution to that, she said, well, what is the antidote for judgment? The antidote for judgment is self-love and self-acceptance. That when you love yourself up enough, where you are standing on a grounded, solid foundation of self-love, when you're full of self-love, then you're not worried about other people's judgment. Because when you're worried about other people's judgment, it's really not even their judgment, it's their judgment triggering your own self-loathing, self-judgment, self-criticism, self-condemnation that is so painful. But when you can heal that enough, when you can fill yourself up with self-love and self-acceptance, then no matter amount of judgment that comes from other people, it doesn't get inside you. Eleanor Roosevelt has a great quote. She was one of the first ladies who was highly criticized because she was razor sharp. She was super smart and she was making a difference. And despite all of that criticism, despite all of that judgment, she pursued and progressed towards what mattered most to her. And she said this famous line. She goes, "All of the water in the world can't drown you if it doesn't get in you." So when you fill yourself up with self-love and self-acceptance, there's no room for the judgment of others. And so I taught my client a great self-love exercise that I'm actually going to link up here. It's a gift from me to you. I'm going to link it up here in the video and also in the description below. So if this matters to you, if you want more self-love, go ahead and click that. You can claim that free gift, and it's a process that helps you activate more self-love. So let's recap. The 2 questions that you can ask yourself if you're receiving a result in your life and you're like, I don't like this result, but why is it sustaining? Ask yourself what value am I gaining from this circumstance? And what fear do I have about actually achieving the result that I want? And so I want to challenge you in this moment. When you think about the thing that you really want in your life right now, ask yourself, what fears do I have? And are there any fears that come up? And post those and share those in the comment section below. And here's why. When you shine the light of awareness on a fear, it automatically reduces the charge, reduces the power that fear has. So you can take the first step right now by sharing that in the comment section below. I know it's a brave move. I know it's a challenge, but if you accept it, it just shows what kind of courageous person you are. So here's to you and you living your amazing life. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.